And with that, I think we can slowly begin our game. Or at least start the final preparations. So, good evening, afternoon, or whatever time of the day it is in your part of the world. And as mentioned, tonight is Warhammer Wednesday. Well, not exactly tonight. The whole day is Warhammer Wednesday. You know how it goes. And by far the best by far the best strategy game to come out in recent years in regards to Warhammer games was, of course, Mechanicus. If we're talking about small-scale tactical strategies with light RPG elements, I think that would be the correct denomination in that case. Now let's just start the game. OBS should be able to pick it up. And hopefully this will go as smooth as it gets. Let me know if something does go wrong, or if the game would be too loud.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal. Even in death, I serve the Omnisire.
Something has happened on YouTube and it's very interesting. Let me have a look at that one. Also, in the meantime, I thought I switched the language to English. There we go. I think we can tone down the master volume to about halfway point. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see what was that in regards to YouTube. Oh, right. Yeah, YouTube also has XP points now, just as Twitch. Also, it looks like your comments are doubling in there. Funny how that works. Well, I can only say that hopefully this will be a good development for all of us. At least I very much hope so. But hey, hope is the first step on the road to disappointment, so let's not disappoint any other viewers around. Now, where were we? Everything seems to be in order. Maybe we can turn down the master volume a little more. Kinda like that. And let's begin new game. As you can see, we're playing Mechanicus Complete Edition, that is, with Heretic DLC. There were no other ones, believe it or not. Still waiting on the second game. Honestly looks very promising, since there will be, from what I understood, the campaigns for both Mechanicus and Necrons, plus the first major appearance of Leagues of Votan in 40k games. Gonna have to double duty? Well, not if I am able to check in on both streams at the same time. Or at least in both chats. I do have a multi-chat feature in here. I just need to understand how to make it show up on screen without having to alt-tab between them. So, new game, I'm thinking we can go on normal for a start. Intended Mechanicus experience. Heretic DLC enabled. We can leave tutorial on because I'm a little rusty on how that game played. No Iron Man and no permadeath. should be good to go. The 41st millennium, a time of darkness and war. The Imperium of Man claims the whole galaxy in the name of the God Emperor. It fights an endless war against Xenos from without, heretics from within, and supernatural horrors from beyond. Alongside the Imperium's war fleets serve the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are the tech priests of Mars, guardians of and reclaimers of humanity's technology, ever searching for remnants of knowledge from man's glorious past, exploring the depths of the galaxy for worlds long lost to mankind. In the name of their machine god, they manufacture the Imperial war machines within gigantic foundries known as Forge Worlds. Gradually, the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus shed their human weaknesses, replacing their limbs and organs with machinery that is both stronger and spiritually pure. Their leaders, the inscrutable Magi, protect the Forge Worlds and explore the furthest corners of the galaxy with their cohorts of Skitarii troops. It is a time of warfare, tragedy, and portents of doom. Across this benighted galaxy, the Adeptus Mechanicus are one of mankind's last defenses against the new Dark Age. Or perhaps they will be the ones to hasten its dawn. Toaster hoarders. But you didn't hear that from me. An echo in the noosphere, Magus. An old transmission lost in the warp and recovered only now. Is it worthy of our attention? The Great Divide torments the galaxy. The resources of the Adeptus Mechanicus are stretched thin. We are weaker than ever, though the Imperium at large knows it not. This represents an unknown but possible key to victory. An opportunity to research, perhaps avert the ill fate that has befallen us. The transmission's origin is Silva Tenebris, part of the Amissus Solaris, within Ultima Segmentum. Search the rolls, Redditus. Gather them. 4 months later. Accessing Magus Rezak last log entry. Whoever finds this transmission and follows me here, give thanks to that you will see what I have seen. But be wary, my fellow seekers of knowledge. Whatever lies beneath this world, I fear, I hope, I have woken it. I came to this world to investigate its ruins, but I found so much more. Terrors, yes. Threats to body and soul. But by the Omnisci, I found such wonders. This is the last transmission of Magus Rezak. He vanished while on an exploratory mission to investigate Xenos structures on Silva Tenebris. Hypothesis. He found something. Our mission on this world is to ascertain any Xenos presence, and if we find it, eliminate it as a threat to the Imperium. The opening of the Great Divide means we can call on no additional support from the Forge Worlds. We must achieve this with the troops and resources we bring with us. Benefit analysis, peace for sector, knowledge for mankind, ++ potential, ++ opportunity. An opportunity to destroy the works of the Xenos Scaevola, not appropriate them. Themyscirian Manuscripts verse 619. What the enemy built, let it be made asunder, for to us will be as a house of sand and knives. Magi, we're approaching the target coordinates. Syncing with Caestus Metallicon. Requesting warp travel state. Exiting the Empyrean. Location, Eastern Fringe. Planet, Silva Tenebris. Coordinates as follows. There she is. Temperate climate, atmosphere standard breathable. My Skitarii troops should be able to operate down there without trouble. Are they ready to make landfall? As soon as we're in stable orbit, Magus. Administratum records indicate a single colony, St. Eckhardt's Hope, on the surface near the Xenos ruins. No contact recorded in 2 centuries. Colony presumed failed. The Skitarii will deploy to the surface near the ruins along with a team of tech priests under my direct command. I shall monitor them from the command throne on board. Service Cal Redditus will serve as my eyes on the surface. We make landfall at once. Yes, Magus. I'll set up a forward command post. Razak's transmission looked like it came from underground. We'll secure any entrances to our underground structures so your tech priests can begin the exploration. This tomb reeks of stale, dusty antiquity. Its once stern architecture is littered with debris and tarnished with a patina of age. Here and there, fissures in the structure cast feeble light over cracked and tarnished metal. The tomb was once brutalist and oppressive, as if designed to crush the spirits of its inhabitants. It is no less intimidating now, but instead of evoking a merciless guiding intelligence, it speaks only of decline and of death. This place seems abandoned at first glance, but as the exploratory troops move through its hushed corridors, the ancient dust stirs and something long dead begins to take on a facsimile of life. Going by our fragmentary information, it looks like a buried tomb structure. Then the sword of the Omnisci is ready to fall. We deploy immediately. Let secrets of this world equal 0. I counsel caution, Magus Faustinius. Our purpose should be here to destroy the threat of the alien, not to bask in its blasphemy. Aphorisms of the Logic Saints, 7.91. In the presence of the Xenos lies the invisible miasma of corruption. Destruction is not possible from orbit, Videx. The structure is too deeply buried. And Scaevola, I have no intention of plundering whatever trinkets I can find from this place. Before we get stuck in... The exploratory unit of tech priests is inside the tomb and ready to proceed, Magus. There is no telling what we will find. My men will hold the perimeter in case of the unexpected. It would be folly to commit our whole manpower to the unknown, especially when the potential of a moral threat exists that the Skitarii are less able to withstand. I have the greatest respect for my Skitarii, but they are still far from the ascension that a tech priest affords. I agree, Stubdomina. I shall lead the mission in person from the command throne. Service Call Reditus shall be my eyes and ears on the ground. Omnisci be praised, we're going in. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a curious breed. They explore and interact with machines they do not fully understand. Within this tutorial, you'll have to explore the interface to discover what to do. Like a true tech priest, you must experiment in order to learn. We'll help you out on this one time. LMB, click on the adjacent room to move. In a moment, Reditus. Let's see if I can add the chat window in here. Not that one. That's gonna be somewhere around here, I think. No, not that one. Can't seem to find it at this time, so maybe I'll try to do that at the next stream. For now, let's focus on the game at hand. We've dilly-dallied enough. There is exploration to behold. These Xenos hieroglyphs, I know of them. They are Mayan doers, Necrons, mysterious, ill-researched, corruptive. This could be a rare sample of the Necron language makers. We have barely any knowledge of it. Collecting data from this obelisk could move our understanding of the language ahead for the first time in centuries. This is a work of the alien makers, Codex Fulminaris 8312. Show caution and scorn in all things. Sometimes tech priests will feed back important information about what they encounter in a room. These situations will require you, our commander, to make decisions. There will be consequences, so choose wisely. Ahead is an obelisk-like object covered in what can only be described as hieroglyphic symbols. It almost reaches the tall ceiling of this chamber. Scourge, scrutinize, secure. Let's try scrutinize this time. Examine the inscriptions on the obelisk. We're detecting a massive energy spike from inside the tomb. Something is happening in there. Something huge. Noctilith source detected, also known as Blackstone. Request collection, immediate. As one of the tech priests kneels to get a closer look at the obelisk, it seems to react to the cohort's presence. The obelisk splits open and a powerful, painful wave of exotic energy spills out. Inside are clustered formations of a rare-looking material. 150 Blackstone, our local currency. On to the next room. Nothing there. And now, our first combat encounter. We got 2 tech priests and 4 servitors to go along with them. Necrons. Rezak did encounter them after all. No wonder he didn't make it off this planet. Every datum we have says they are as deadly as they are inhuman. The cohort encounters resistance in the form of Xenos constructs, not flesh and blood creatures, but artificial bodies that move with precision and coordination. Consistency. Follow the established combat engagement protocols. It shall be done by the book. Crusade. The aggressive stance of the tech priests ensures they will not be outmaneuvered, but risks they are running headlong into the fire of the enemy. Caution. Exercise extreme caution. Do not charge in too heedlessly, lest the trickery of the alien be our downfall. Let's do this by the book. Combat will be joined according to the long-established tenets of the Adeptus Mechanicus, for good or ill. Xenos form detected. Confirmed. Reditus cogitators now function for synthetic forms. Overwhelming excitement. Finally, we can study this standard construct, Necron Warrior. Weak spots detected. None. Concerning. I wonder about the symbols emblazoned on their torsos. It must... Do not underestimate. Gauss weaponry, highly volatile. This is true. I've heard our brothers and sisters of the Mechanicus have lost their lives trying to solve the mysteries of these Xenos weapons. Approach with caution. It is also, double-checking cogitators, widely known that they will self-repair, reanimate, or reconstruct themselves if left time to do so. Wounds that would instantly kill a Skitari are the equivalent of a Class C graze to Necrons. I think we can do that. At the start of every fight, you must decide the location of your units on the field of battle. You can only place units on the highlighted squares. Well, Apprentice Jeremiah, you've got a Macrostabber, which deals physical damage, and a Service Skull for collecting for advanced CBT. That is, Cognition Collection. No, wait, that's supposed to be CCT. Or CCC. Cognition Collection... I've written myself into a corner on that one. The animated by movie is with you for the second night in a row, saying to this at the same time is sensory violence. Understandable. So, Jeremiah. Gar gas bat for health. Anyway, you will go over here, closer to this obelisk. And Magus Manarius here has Phosphor Serpenta, which deals energy damage, as well as Omnissiah Axe. For close encounters of the 30-second time. 30-second type, as they say. So once again, you are getting sent in closer to here. Anyone else we can add? Not yet. It's just these 2 tech priests. off we go. To move a unit, left-click mouse button with the blue outline surrounding your unit. Yeah. It is, click anywhere. So we get here, we collect the cognition point. Just move your points to your tech priest to a source of cognition points. CPs represent the valuable information that tech priests are harvesting. There are several ways to collect CP. The fastest way is moving your tech priest close to a source of CP. There are many other ways to collect CP, so look around to find out what they are. Highly unfortunate abbreviature, which I am not gonna be using in a while. Cognition points are stored at the bottom of the screen in the appropriate gauge. They're a shared team resource, so plan ahead. I will keep that in mind. Now, to activate that Phosphor Serpenta, we do need 2 cognition points. So, if we were to get over here, that would be not too great of an experience, so we'll send the Service Skull to collect it. The Skull of a faithful servant of the Omnissiah, augmented to be a useful companion. Every tech priest has their own Service Skull. Service Skulls are very helpful in combat and cognition point collection. To select enemy to find out its battle statistics. But first, we're gonna collect that cognition point. You've gathered enough cognition points to be able to use a CP-powered weapon. Once again, very unfortunate abbreviature. Some weapons like the Phosphor Serpenta require cognition points to use, as we've established before. Now, if we move a little closer here, we can use the Phosphor Serpenta to blast this Necron warrior. And hopefully, he'll be the one that has no energy armor. Fire away. Yep, that was the correct choice. Congratulations. You've revealed the statistics of the enemy. Knowing your enemy's stats will greatly increase your chances of success. Service Skulls reveal HP, physical armor, and energy armor statistics. You then decide what weapon types work best against this target. Killing Necrons isn't simple. Necrons are made of a self-repairing metal that is able to knit together dismembered limbs and gaping wounds. We call this the reanimation protocol. When a Necron is in the reanimation protocol, they're unable to fight but will return to fighting condition soon. Dealing any amount of damage to a Necron in this protocol state will destroy them indefinitely. Well, can't quite move there, so not in range of any target. Look for a weapon icon. See? It's just an axe. It can only hit its immediate targets. So we are done with your turn, Magus Monarius. And your turn. We'll let that one shoot. Take a little bit of damage. By a little bit, I mean about a quarter of their health. We get over here. We collect data on you. And that means our macro stabber should be good enough to deal damage to you. 2 to 4. Not enough to take it down in one shot. Ooh, close. Very close. And we still have 3 turns until this Necron gets up. Which is all fine and dandy. We can end our turn now. New round. The obelisks get their cognition points restored. We'll be able to call on other members of the cohort as the battle goes on. This will happen at the start of every round. You'll need cognition points to deploy troops. So you can spend 1 cognition point to bring in 1 servitor. Right here. This should be good enough. But first, Magus Monarius. Be so kind as to get over here. Collect cognition from this Necron. And send it away on a permanent leave. The Necron you just attacked has been teleported away to somewhere far beyond our reach. In practical terms, this means you have killed the target. And just move away over here. We're done here. Now if it wants to move, when an enemy moves out of melee range, providing your unit has a melee weapon, the enemy will trigger an opportunity attack. An opportunity attack gives your unit a free melee attack out of an enemy. Each unit can only perform 1 opportunity attack per round. Very good. Goodbye. That was easy. All Xenos life forms purged. Your cohort's HP amount carries over from each fight within a mission. Keep this in mind when exploring a tomb and look out for opportunities to repair. Maybe we'll get one over here. Who knows? And let's see. Hypothesis formulation. Sarcophagi, coffins, burial places. Structural purpose designation, tomb. In the chambers ahead are several groups of structures alike upright coffins of an unknown material. Intrigue? Ensure you observe your surroundings carefully. Detailed picked grabs and readings may be like the key to success. Ignite. Make sure you destroy any structure that looks suspicious. It is worth pausing in your advance to do harm to the Xenos abominations. Ignore. Do not tarry to observe the works of the alien. Press on and avoid any distractions. Well, if those are coffins, then I suppose we'll need to destroy them, so that no Necrons can emerge from them. Burn away. The tech priests open fire on the sarcophagi. The structures prove all but impermeable to normal small arms fire, but components of the strange Necron materials are stripped away and can be salvaged by the cohort for examination and repurposing. That just an extra bit of blackstone. Not too bad. On to our next encounter. 3 Necron warriors. We can deal with those, right? I'm sure we can. After exploring the chamber for several minutes, a tile underfoot clicks. The sound of warring energy builds up around your troops. A quick Omnispec scan reveals you are surrounded on all sides by Xenos life forms. Yep, once again, 3 warriors. Or rather, 2. And we have one big ol' obelisk there with cognition points. So that means Jeremiah here will go here. We do have a couple of servitors to deploy, just so that they are occupied. They're dime a dozen, so I don't think we'll be afraid of using them. So one here, and actually one over here. As a support for Magus Monarius. And we're golden. In Mechanicus there are 2 types of units to control. Tech priests or troops, such as the one you've just deployed in the battlefield. Troops are your servants and cannon fodder. They don't have access to as many weapons and skills as tech priests. However, they're useful and should not be overlooked. And that would be a correct assessment. We do get the benefit of first turn, so best to get as close to the enemy as we can. Now, what are you? Physical armor, which means Monarius will be able to deal with him. Yep, in range of Volkite Serpenta. Yeah, Phosphor Serpenta, excuse me. You get over here, you target the bastard, and you kill it in one shot. I just had to say that, didn't I? Now, Jeremiah, collect all those sweet, sweet cognition points. Start moving up, or actually, use your server skull to reveal the stats on that one. Yep, energy armor. Which means our servitor and your Macros Tower will be okay to deal with it. If we move there, that's the sweet spot. You're just about to move using cognition movement. This happens when you move within the orange movement outline. Confirming the movement will use cognition points, allowing your tech priests to move faster. An acceptable use of the resource, target, and fire. Minimal damage, unfortunately. Well, close the gap. Hopefully they'll shoot at you rather than any of the tech priests. And they did. And we do get 1 cognition point for being shot at. When servitors are hit in combat, tech priests take an interest, quickly noting down damage angles, projectile speeds, and other useful combat information to be used later against their enemies. This is represented by gaining a cognition point. Servitors are a very useful unit in all your missions. Not just cannon fodder, but a useful cannon fodder. Oh, Canoptech scarabs emerge from their hidey holes. What are those? Opportunity equals knowledge. Gather. Must obtain. Required. Scarabs detected. Source data surfacing. No life forms detected. Area safe. Continue forward. Reditus, verify your cogitators, then tell me what surfaced from Megas Rezak's cogitators. Scarabs of an unknown Xenos race. Biology, synthetic, possible artificial intelligence. 1 specimens gathered, AI theory equals false. Personal recording. Weeks of study show there are many variants of Scarab, each with their own roles within the Xenos economy and architecture. Able to build and deconstruct anything they encounter, they're able to repair other units within their species with lightning speed. Be warned, they are deadly in large swarms. It appears the machine spirit is with us. We've been able to access some more of Rezak's data that we thought was corrupt. It must be due to us recording these Xenos forms that the machine spirit has blessed us with access to these cogitator records. It's unsure why he would lock this under a synthetic proximity encryption. So that you do not spoil your encounters with them, obviously. No need to deploy any other servitors. We are good. Let's bash them. You've not revealed the statistics for this target. As a result, the amount of damage dealt is unknown. Service skulls, specialized weapons, and other skills reveal the life of an enemy. You stay right there. And these Canoptech scarabs will move next. Uh-huh. They shouldn't have any... They shouldn't have any armor. That acid, however, will hurt. When you enter melee combat in an adjacent square to an enemy, you are unable to use your target ranged weapon as they're too dangerous to be used at close range. So first we gotta use the Omnisci X to blast away those scarabs, like so. And now we can use the Volkite Serpenta to finish off this Necron warrior. Like so. You can stay where you are. You can move up here. Use your macro stubber to kill those. Move 1 tile here. Good enough. Now you should be able to kill that Necron warrior, right? Right. Of course you wouldn't. That acid is gonna hurt. And wabam! Down it goes. It all worked out in the end. Very good. All Xenos life forms purged. On to the point of interest we go. This symbol represents a location of significant importance to your mission. Entering these rooms brings you closer to the end of a mission. Negative signs of hostile forces. Seeking permission to proceed with data collection protocols. Confirmed. Permission authorized. Acknowledged, Magus. Protocol begins. What is primary focus, sire? Knowledge of Necron forces. Numbers, defenses, locations. Any form of data on how many remain on this rock. Secondary, source of the purpose of this tomb. Why was it built? Interface devices all but eroded. There is one device that may hold answers, but Necron data looms are incomprehensible to Imperium Archaeotech. This might take a while. Idea. Magus, if I may take host of this priest, I could be of assistance. Approved. No spheric interfacing complete. Hard to decipher purpose. List of suggestions, Magus. Deconstruct device, activate switch mechanisms, learn Necron language, and return later. What will it be, sire? Always so meticulous with your lists, Tech Acquisitor. Engage on Xenos mechanisms. Although I detest to do so, the promises of rewards are too great to ignore. Having to lower ourselves to the Xenos learnings may be the only way to reach the archaeotech we seek. Protocol updated. Confusion. No spheric interference. Disconnect at once. Purged. Preset. No spheric disconnect complete. Possible scrap code. Will fragment now. Fragmenting. Sire, we have unfavorable issue to deal with. Requesting Dominus input. Fragmenting. Explain. As Tech Acquisitor Scaevola left suddenly, my cogitators glitched. Augmentations entered sporadic reaction protocols and have fried vital sign registries. Unclear full damage report. Necron device is now activated, sire. Fragmenting. 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 Remove yourself from the noosphere, Scaevola. Reditus, report. The tomb is waking, sire. Reports from Skitarii cohorts across the planet note that tremors vex their locals. We've lost contact with the Skitarii that were covering the entrance to this tomb. We can hear noises of approaching forces. Improve protection protocols, load weapons, and ready for what is to come. We must face the Xenos. You wish. Thrones of Mars. What was that? An omnilinguistic transmission, Magus. It seems these mute constructs are not the only inhabitants of this structure.
What is this? Flesh and steel combined. A mockery of both. Their every footstep a blasphemy. What manner of galaxy is this into which I have awoken?
A galaxy previously Necron-free. Principal Xenos war form sighted. Exotic energy signatures past sensor range. Designate Xenos Abominatus. High value target confirmed. The hunt is on. What are your orders, Magus? The cohort reaches a large chamber beneath the first layers of the Xenos ruins. Bridges stretch from balancing platforms, barely holding themselves together, while rubble falls from the high walkways like breadcrumbs escaping into the abyss below. Capture. Contain the Xenos and return it to the Ceastus, metallic and intact, so it can be vivisected and studied. Fall back. Get the tech priests out of there. Stand ground. Annihilate the Xenos with righteous fury. We are currently underclassed and outgunned, so fall back is the logical choice. I concur, Magus, but I fear this foe will not give us leave to depart. Green light flickers into life from within the shadows. The cohort prepares for the worst as skeletal silhouettes start to form in front of the shadows. Tech priests must escape. This is the final battle of the tutorial. Apply what you have learned so far and strive to obtain victory. The 41st millennium is a brutal place. You may lose this battle, but not the war. In Mechanicus, there are many alternate paths to discover. Still, it would be best if our two starting tech priests were to survive. The servitors are expendable. There's Void Admiral Agrelak, which will be our first boss, accompanied by 2 Necron warriors on either side. Now, where do we need to get? The exit is right behind him, so we just gotta circle around in any direction we'd like. I am partial towards the right side, so we'll move our tech priests accordingly. And leave a couple of servitors as bait. Thank you for your service. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten, even though I do not know your names. Charge valiantly, bullet catcher. Or rather, gauss beam catcher. And I think we can afford to... No, not yet. Just move a little further like that. Set a service skull to collect your data. Energy armor. Gotcha. You stay there. Now, Jeremiah, show why exactly we are not dealing with Void Admiral Agrolek right now. 40 HP, and his armor alternates every turn between physical and energy. So in theory, you can get him killed if you finagle your way around this battlefield condition, but I'm not going to do that right now. For now, it's best we leave.
I sailed the void for 1,000 years. I fought the war in heaven. What can you do to strike fear in one such as I?
You know, once we get our better toys out there, you will know fear, but for now, the playing field is yours. See? Started with physical, changed it to energy, and now he's gonna kill that servitor. 6 damage. Servitor 000001 has died. Do not worry, troops are cannon fodder designed to protect you at tech priests from enemy attacks. Without tech priests, your mission will fail. This is important. But hey, now we can walk up to him and smack him in the face. Because he's got energy armor. Heyo! Good roll, good roll. Anyone emerging from the tomb? Not yet. Putting in our third servitor. Collecting the cognition points. Moving up. Oh, brave bullet catcher. Now this should be a fairly simple one-to-one trade, right? Not exactly. We need to be a little closer. That would be a one-to-one trade, but that would be suboptimal for now. So we just move up a little closer. Luckily, there are no AoE weapons in here for now. Microstabber is 8 meters of range, so not quite there yet. Same for Agrolek, not using it yet.
How dare these wretched things stand before the Void Admiral of Cesaragon?
I am unfamiliar with that dynasty. Possibly it's the default dynasty, the one led by Zarek the Silent King. Now that's dangerous. But right now we're not in range of his retaliation range, I think. Or if not, just gonna have to take it on the chin. Final servitor deployed. Bailiff, you can do nothing, so just destruction strike, go. Luckily for us, the newly spawned servitor did not trigger any adverse effects, but we are in melee range. Delay turn. Which means Jeremiah, gotta move up. Shoot you, Microstabber. Almost. Almost got him. Collect these cognition points. And stay where you are.
When my fleet sails once more, vermin like you shall be strung from my prow.
Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. Ooh, that was a wide swing. We may lose a Magus Monarius, which will be suboptimal, to say the least. But on the bright side, we do not have any retaliatory strikes. So we run up. We got plenty of cognition points to use. You go down. No crits just yet. We'll get our investment back. Using Phosphor Serpenta on that one would be a waste. So we just run on through. And collect from here. So we are all nice and topped off. No one else is coming. Very good. Servitor, you stay where you are and finish off this Necron Warrior, just so it does not get any funny ideas. And stay behind to cover our escape. Magus Manari is there. We'll move up in this direction. Yeah, that should be in range of Phosphor Serpenta. Seeing as that Necron Warrior had energy armor, it is logical to assume that this one will have physical armor. But you never know until you try. Should have spent that Servoscal activation to see his stats. However, I am nothing but not experimental. Wonderful. Pick up the points. Start moving towards the exit. Same for you, Apprentice Jeremiah. Do not be afraid to spend those points to get ahead.
Do not think to challenge us, we who killed our gods.
You didn't kill them properly. You turned them into your own Pokemon. With that, we are out of here. Just one last cognition point grab so that we are not without want. And with that, we are officially out of here. Ciao! The cohort successfully escaped the Xenos life forms. Report, Kepra. Well, we get the squad out alive, Magus. That has to count as a victory under the circumstances. We encountered a Necron war form of capability well beyond our expectations. Yes, I do not need to hold my emotional engrams. However, one battle won is not a success. We will eventually face losses on this mission. When this happens, we must press on, beyond our failures, to reach success. And there is something else. The reanimation. The Necrons are waking up. It started when Rezak stumbled on the tomb, but our arrival is accelerating the process. That obelisk may have been a form of intruder alarm, and now the sarcophagi in the tomb are starting to open. Then we no longer enjoy the luxury of time. Whatever we do on Silva Tenebris, it must be done before the Necrons awaken completely. We do not even know yet how far the tomb complex extends. We are under the gun then. Omnissiah preserve us if our duty is ever easy. I return sorrow and despair from my emotional cores, but I see they lack the logic to determine decision-making. Instead, I choose to quarantine them and adjust our approach. The word of Omnissiah teaches us that when one method fails, another must be sought, until all are exhausted. Figured really stupidly stubborn, he can actually win this fight. Well, yeah. Be glad that Twitch is mostly bots. YouTube is overrun with legit schizos. Ah, well, I'll take your word for it. Now, if you will excuse me for a second, I gotta check up on something. Be right back. Right, back to it. Then what are your orders, Magus? The Skitarii will explore the tomb chamber by chamber and maintain a foothold. My tech priests will be deployed to achieve crucial objectives and respond to crises. Time may be a factor, but our mission can only be achieved with the thoroughness of a full deployment. I shall mobilize the Skitarii immediately, Magus. Opportunity detected. Leader forms of Necrons rarely, never observed. Potential of intelligence on Necrons added to sum total of human knowledge. Imperative. Focus on acquiring artifacts, intelligence, data from... Hold your blasphemous tongue, Skibola. You counsel the abandonment of our very souls. Life of Archmagus Borazis, Appendix 9. Our only objective should be death to the alien and all his works. All else is derivative from the Omnissiah Creed. If intelligence gain equals true, then go to victory. Aphorism retrieval. To face an enemy unknown is to fight in the dark. And as we all know, better an enemy unknown than an enemy within. Better in ignorance than in heresy. I return frustration at your conflict and choose to experience it. There will be bloodshed enough on Silva Tenebris without the Magi coming to blows. Our purpose we are united. This is the will of the Omnissiah. And it shall be done. Yes, it shall be done. Magus, the readings from the tomb are troubling. The Skitarii have been monitoring the structure we uncovered, and what they have found gives me grave concern. Explain, xenobiologist. The Necron construct forms are waking up. It seems Magus Rezak accidentally began the process and our intrusion into the structure hastened it. These Necron reanimation protocols are continuing to the tomb we entered, and from the energy spikes across the region there are other structures yet to be uncovered. My plan for the exploration of Silver Tenebris will locate these structures and contain the constructs within. That may not be enough, Magus. I have detected a repeating pattern in the reanimation protocols and the rate the Necrons are awakening. They are speeding up. Can you be certain? The Necrons are machines. Machines act according to patterns and programs. If the reanimation protocols continue to accelerate, they will fully awaken every Necron on this planet in 264 hours. Given the extent of the buried structures, that will constitute a Necron army beyond this mission's ability to contain. I see. Then our time here is limited. Strategic calculations indicate time spent deployed on missions will affect the overall number of missions we will be able to deploy. I will send Skitarii scouting parties to discover other tombs and create forward positions for your high-priority missions, sire. If the threat on Silver Tenebris is not assessed and eliminated before full reanimation is reached, we will be forced to abandon the planet. And there is the timer for our game. Necron Awakening Meter. Try and gather as much information and tech before reaching 100%, because reaching that number will mean game over. I fear they are right. I feel fear too. That is part of my humanity I have chosen to retain. But I can quarantine it in my neural vaults and choose instead to focus on what must be done. We must choose our missions wisely. It will not be easy. Unless you chose the easy difficulty. The Omnicide did not send us here to do anything easy. The threat to humanity present in this world will be eliminated, or we shall not leave. Thus the equation is balanced. It is the will of the machine god. Let's see. Acropis sector discovered. This tomb is bathed in sickly green light that serves not to illuminate but only to make the shadows deeper. Every surface seems connected via filaments of alien light. The design here speaks of Xenos tech heresy, forbidden knowledge, and structure as alive and aware as anything inhabiting it. Early exploratory readings indicate the walls are made of substances not known to the rituals of metallurgy. Abstract designs carved into this substance suggest unknown regions of space mapped according to some alien understanding. The weight of such blasphemy slows the steps of the first troops to enter here. The heresies of knowledge are deadly enough, but it seems unlikely that they are the only dangers here. Welcome to Caestus Mechanicus, an Arc Mechanicus class battleship. This class of ship is one of the largest in the Imperium and is only afforded to the Adeptus Mechanicus. From here you'll be able to customize your tech priests and prepare for the missions ahead. You can select missions from the character portraits on the left of the screen. Before we go on a mission, we should inspect and equip our tech priests. Head over to the Cohort tab. Welcome to the Cohort quarters. Here you can see all the available tech priests and troops units currently unlocked. Troop units are shown at the top of the screen. Here you can see what skills each troop has available and all statistics for each unit. Tech priests are shown in the bottom 6 slots. And we can see Jeremiah has been upgraded from an apprentice to a proper magus. So we'll start with his customization. There are many ways to customize a tech priest. You can change their weapons, body augments, backpack upgrades, and more. Now we head to the disciplines. And we can specialize them in a number of disciplines. You're free to mix and match, by the way. First we have Explorator. Explorators take on a quest of knowledge more than any other discipline. They reach far into the depths of unknown space, searching for lost archaeotech, new species, and even new worlds. Their first upgrade is Noospheric Scan. Reveal enemy statistics when in melee range. Secutor, masters of man and machine. They wield the often rare trait of charisma, and with their inspiring leadership, they are able to multiply the efficiency of Skitarii tenfold. So they are all about boosting your troops. First skill, Servant Protocol Servascal. Troop unit gains 1 damage, more movement, and 15% crit chance. Not too shabby. Tech Auxilium. An often overlooked discipline, the tech auxilium takes on tasks that other tech priests avoid. They are the oil within an engine. They keep the great Mechanicus cog running as smoothly as they can. First discipline, cognition freedom. Your next weapon's attack cognition cost is reduced by 2 cognition points. So if we were to look at that Volkite Serpenta that we have, or excuse me, Phosphor Serpenta, it would make it a free attack, not taking any CP. Lex Mechanic. Rigorous catalogers, Lex Mechanics compile, analyze, and run data entry tasks. They're capable of finding valuable data among indecipherable texts, maps, or other obscure forms such as enemy weakness in battle. This one is all about cognition point generation, if I recall correctly. First ability, Enhanced Analytics. Generate 1 cognition point at the beginning of the unit's turn if the gauge is empty, so that you're never run out. Tempting. Next we have Engine Seer. Unlike other priests, Engine Seers are found to serve on almost every Imperial planet in the galaxy, seeing to the well-being and maintenance of all things mechanical. That one is conversely all about healing and removing debuffs like acid. Cleansing Ointments. Cleanse the target of any negative effects, and negative effects last 1 less turn. Then we have Dominus. A Dominus is heavily trained in the art of war, using their skills to monitor and calculate highly complex battle maneuvers in the blink of an eye. First skill, Enhanced Weapons. +4 range for ranged weapons. I'm thinking we give that one to Magus Manarius, and make Jeremiah our Lex Mechanic. And the final class, added with the Heretic DLC, is Zenorite. The secretive Zenorites seek to understand and even use dangerous alien technology. Theirs is the discipline that can reap the greatest rewards and the foulest corruption. It's a class centered around the more damage you deal, the less health you have. However, it comes with an inbuilt self-heal. Restore 1 HP at the beginning of the unit's turn. It's not much, but it's honest self-heal. See, right here. Critical Knowledge. Gain +5% crit chance per missing HP. So, yeah, glass cannon class, essentially. So, as I was gonna say, Jeremiah will be our Lex Mechanic, so Enhanced Analytics. In order to upgrade, you must have enough black stone, and we'll gain an augment slot. Plus, increase our augment capacity. Having a diverse team is advised, however, the choice is all yours. Tech priests can be multi-disciplined, meaning they can learn skills from more than one discipline. You have enough augment capacity to equip this tech priest with a weapon. Drag a weapon into a slot. For now we have only the basic stuff. A regular power axe, which comes with a cost of 1 cognition point to use. Phosphor Blast Pistol, which deals energy damage, and kinda similar to the Macrostabber we had at the beginning. But we do have Zenorite Macrostabber, which deals physical damage and applies acid, which might not be a bad choice. And finally we have the Arc Scourge, which is another DLC weapon that was added in the, what was it called? Omnisci edition of the game, yeah. Weapon comes with a hefty cost of 3 CP, but deals energy damage, respectable 5 to 7 energy damage to a target, plus 2 to 4 energy damage to chained targets. So it fires in a cone and will be our first AoE weapon. It is very heavy to use, but we're not going to be using it just yet. So I'm thinking we give you the Power Axe, just so that you have a melee option. And I'm thinking Zenorite Macrostabber on your right shoulder. Now, Magus Manarius. I'm thinking we turn you into our Dominus. That means you get 2 guns. The Phosphor Blast Pistol and the Zenorite Macrostabber. And that's to both of your augment points occupied. We have nothing to do here for now. Here's a little trick that I do remember previously. We can switch to a noosphere view, like so. This will be our secret mission that we'll get to once the time is right. For now, however, both Scivola and Videx have a mission for us to pursue. Let's look at their rewards. Tech Acquisitor Scivola wishes to begin her research into the secrets of the Necrons and has asked for specimens of the enemy to be gathered from the tomb of Acropis. So this will give us Arc Rifle, our first big boy energy weapon, and an Omnispecs. Target has 50% chance to miss you with its attacks for 1 round, which is a non-combat augment. Plus a little bit of Blackstone. Meanwhile, Videx. Lector Dogmatic's Videx has requested the deployment of a Sensor Servitor to fumigate the tomb of Agrolek and cleanse its spiritual corruption. That one gives us our Macrostabber back, which is honestly lacking, but it is a physical ranged weapon. But then again, we do have a Xenarite Macrostabber, which is plain better because of acid. And he also offers Curatio Claw, which is a healing augment, plus the same amount of Blackstone. Here we'll face only Necron Warriors, while over here we'll have Necron Warriors and Canoptech Scarabs. Honestly, Arc Rifle couldn't be that bad, so I'm thinking we go for that mission. Here you choose which tech priests and troops to take on a mission. We'll take both Jeremiah and Manarius. No troop choices, rather no expanded choices yet, so we'll just take, once again, 4 servitors. They're free, because the senior magi don't want you to know this, but the servitors are free. You just go into the nearest tech bay, grab one for your purposes, and leave. I've obtained about a dozen or so servitors like that, but don't let them know that. They'll get cranky. And we also have Canticles, which are kinda like one-time use tactics, which we will be using when the time calls for that. For now we have Litany of Life, which is 5 HP heal. Not too shabby. Good for beginning. Tech Acquisitor Scivola, I asked you on this mission because of your experience with surveying alien artifacts and organisms. And so the heretics of Stygia's Sage can plunder this world for its secrets. Your assertion equals false. If objection concerns offense, go to a different mission. And leave you free to do as you will? A dereliction of logic, Scivola. Macarians 16:4. Watch your brother, for his sin of heresy is thy sin of tolerance. Silva Tenebrous evaluation commences. Wonders, opportunities, secrets. Radar chance of discovery, intelligence on Xenos. Must not fail to exploit. The logic of your enthusiasm eludes me, Tech Acquisitor. My emotional cores return only peril to our mission personnel and the threat of the awakening Xenos. Therefore, I am on this mission. My role equals gather intelligence, seek truth, return to human comprehension. Dictates of Mars retrieval, gather knowledge for the good of all. And how are you to go about that, Scivola? Field operations in person equals suboptimal. Sending tech priests instead equals optimal. First objective, gather field specimens for study. Location, Tomb of Acropis. Commence immediately. Given the reports from the Tomb of Acropis, there should be plenty of samples in there for you to collect, Magus. Of course, but first you have to kill them. My talents equals dissection after the fact. I leave the location and identification execution for your tech priests, Magus. I trust this will be worth the effort, Scivola. These are no mere labor servitors we are risking in these tombs. These are men and women, fellow devotees of the cult Mechanicus. Agreed, Mag. Agreed, Meg. Valid point raised. Ensure human corpses are returned as well. Opportunity to study the effect of Necron technology on human flesh. Usually it's just stripped to the bone, or disintegrated. There, saved you some time. So we got a point of interest here. And the Necron symbol over here. I can't remember what exactly that means. Because there is the Necron samples that we'll need to collect, so I'm thinking we can go for a bit of a tour through here. Oh, I think I remember now what that is. It's a glyph, and we have to choose a specific one. A single port designed for a Necron Canoptech creature extrudes from the device. Yeah, not even crispy, just poof and gone. Exactly how their Gauss weaponry works. Let's go with the axe-like one. It healed for 2 HP. That was a bit of a waste. Point of interest here. Self-preservation versus curiosity. Conflict unresolved. Desirous of knowing that what purpose chamber serves. The chamber ahead is lined with glowing green cylinders, each pulsing with power. The air is thick and greasy, and arcs of static electricity leap from the cohort's extremities as they approach. This chamber is almost certainly extremely dangerous, but is the only way forward. Slow and steady. Move through the chamber with extreme caution, carefully monitoring the energy levels. Study. Try to understand the purpose of this Necron technology. Shut down. Attempt to shut down the strange Necron devices. Well, the awake level of the tomb is gonna raise either way, so if we stop and study, we might take damage, but if we go slow and steady, we get extra tomb awakening level. Let's go with slow and steady. Yep, presence has been detected. The Necrons are awakened in response to our presence within the tomb. As you travel through each tomb, defense systems will start activating. This increases the difficulty of the mission. The longer you spend in a tomb, the harder the mission becomes. Exploring the depths of the tomb isn't without reward. There are unknown amounts of lost knowledge to be found for those willing to dig deeper. The cohort succeeds in negotiating the chamber without harm, but doing so takes rather longer than mission parameters allow. Shortly after exiting the chamber, they begin to exhibit severe rashes, shivers, weeping sores, and unnatural expectorations, which hinder their combat effectiveness. That was incorrect choice. Not only did we get Awakening level increase, but we also have Necron initiative increase. Should have seen that one coming. On to the next point of interest. Commence enthusiasm. Acquire at all costs. One of the Necron war forms remains after the rest of the fallen constructs teleport away. It fades in and out of reality as if about to disappear. Well, we know that we cannot simply grab the Necron for transport back to Kaistus Metallicon because it will disappear. We can execute it, but it will teleport away, so let's extrapolate. Take targeted sensor readings on the Necron as it phases out. Data received. Cogitating. Error 404. Data does not conform to known reality. Known reality correction required. Fascinating. The cohort's auspexes detect various exotic particles and radiation types as the Necron's phasing out process is eventually completed. And we do get some cognition points out of that, which is nice. Now, I am tempted to go for one final Necron glyph check. What do we get? An X or an antenna? Let's see what the antenna does. A little bit of blackstone. Very good. Now I get back here, will the awake level increase? It didn't, thankfully. But it will now. And that means extra Necrons in battle. We can overcome that. After all, it's only warriors and scarabs for now. Kill them all. Jeremiah goes here. Manarius here. And 2 of our starting servitors, because we do have CPs to spare, right alongside them. On the bright side, they're too far away to fire at us. So up we go. You can also smash that console of theirs. If we get close to it, that is. That should be a little bit of extra black stone. And we also can scan it. Grab some CP on the way here. Scan that Necron. Hopefully no armor. Absolutely perfect. I'll blast you with our Phosphor Blast pistol for that little bit of damage. Good roll. Stay here for now. Now, Jeremiah. Will be so kind as to scan that one too. Also no armor. Thank you, game. What have we here? Some more blackstone. Very well. Actually, stay right there for now. Let's smack him right in the face, because he is definitely asking for it. You've used all possible actions for this unit, and there is nothing more you can do this round. Yeah, I know that. Now, why don't you get over there and help Team Magus with smashing that Necron console? That would be very appreciated. Thank you. Try to move. Not out yet. That was a pretty nice reaction. And we will lose that one. There we go. Machine Spirit charged. That's some extra damage on that one. Very good. Now if we take a step over here. We should be able to finish off this Necron. I know it's a bit of a waste. So we just move over here. And now use the Zenerite Macro Stubber on the less damaged one. Enjoy your acid. It is not trippy. I will guarantee you that. Now this one is gonna be a little messy. But it will be well worth it. -2 Necron Awakening. Just what we needed. And I do mean it. Thank you for your service. And you will go down. There come the Canoptech Scarabs. And another Necron Warrior at our flank. Again, nothing we cannot handle. We do have Servitors to spare after all. Plunk you down here. And let the newcomers catch the rays. Ooh, that was a nasty crit. But it served its purpose. As will this one. Now we can just get over here. And hopefully, not quite. One of lethal. Yep, they do be repairing. But that is of no concern to us. What is concerning is what do you have? Energy armor. Which means you are very prone to getting smacked in the face by the Omnissiah axe. I'll get your Phosphor Blast pistol ready. Very good. And use your Zenerite Macro Stubber to finish off that one. Wonder if acid will kill him. Guess we'll find out. I can go over here to finally get to that big trove of cognition points. 1 for 3, good deal. Oh, but I forgot about the Canoptech scarabs over there. Silly me. Mister, you are going down. All weapons have sacred machine spirits within them. The more you use a weapon, the more charged it becomes. When a machine spirit is charged, you'll gain a buff to the attack of that weapon. Each weapon's machine spirit will charge at a different rate, which is shown underneath the weapon's icon. When you select the weapon, you'll see the buffs of the machine spirit within the tooltip. So that means you are going down, and we're stripping 1 point of energy armor from you. Fine, you get to live a little longer. You stay where you are. You are down. Ow. And acid 2. We'll have to eat an attack of opportunity on this one. I suppose you can start moving that way. And the newcomer will... Can't quite reach it. Unfortunate, but it will eat an attack of opportunity for us. Right? Those scarabs are gone. Very good. Stay right there. That one will try to move away. And get smacked in the face. Now that was a good crit. You've killed the Necron with a critical hit. When you critically kill a Necron, they are unable to activate their reanimation protocols that are instantly teleported from battle. That's what I like to see. That one will go down too. And you stay over there and make sure there are no sudden movements from that one. Now we'll have to eat some opportunity damage in there. But it's all gotta be worth it. The Zenerite Macro Stabber will kill them. And if it won't kill them now, the machine pistol will finish the job. All in all, not too bad for a first mission. Circumstances evaluation, confirmed disappointing. Necrons employ teleportation technology to achieve post-destruction discorporation. Interrogative. Where do the remains go? Fascination intensifies. Upon destruction, the Necron's constructs vanish, leaving no samples to be collected. Archive. Take big grabs of the damage from the Necron weapons. At least this information may be of use. Analyze. Thoroughly search the chamber for any components that might have been missed by the teleportation effect. Abandon. Move on, hoping the next combat will yield usable samples. No, that one is a stupid option. So let's go with Archive. Necrons employ teleportation technology in weaponry. Calculating desire. Live targets for evaluating effects of Gauss fire on human body. Conjecture equals most illuminating. And we get us another augment. Noise reductor. Reveal all enemy statistics in a circle area. That one's situational, but could be useful. The cohort returns from the tomb frustrated by the lack of physical samples of Necron constructs. However, the data they have gathered on the phasing out of Necron remains is illuminating in itself. Valuable data present. more than passed. Totality of human knowledge increased. Mission conclusion, positive. That's a good outlook to have. I cannot say I support your conclusions, Kivola. Beneficial conclusion, itemization follows. Necron discorporation witnessed, enemy constructs destroyed, less than 0. Necron combat, rather more than 0. Necron combat performance evaluated, chances of functioning Necron available for dissection increased. My emotional cores are returning sensations of frustration and resentment, and I choose to acknowledge them. The lives of my tech priests are not there to be risked for the fulfillment of your desires, Tech Acquisitor. They are there to be risked for the acquisition of intelligence, learning, sacred knowledge. Your understanding equals approvable. We do have some Blackstone to spare on the healing up of troops, but we also get paid for every Necron we smack. So it all balances things out in the end. And those 2 Tomb Awakening levels translated into 2% of the total awakening. And we get a new Canticle. Complete one mission without using a Canticle. Cant of the Craft. The next physical attack will deal +3 physical damage. Not too bad. Now let's take a look at our cohort. Jeremiah, how can we upgrade you further? We get a body augment. Or rather, we choose an augment. What do we have? Lex Mechanic Torso, +4 HP. Leg augments, +2 HP and 2 meters to movement. Could be useful considering you're the only melee guy for now. Head augment, +1 physical and energy armor, or arms, +2 HP and +20% dodge chance. Now dodge chance is enticing, but I'm gonna go for movement for now. So, enjoy your new legs. May they be shiny and chrome. Omnispecs, I'm thinking we stick on over to Manarius. But let's see what augments he has first. Torso augment, +3 HP, +1 energy armor. Legs, +3 HP, +3 meters of movement. Head, +2 HP, +1 energy armor. And arms, +1 energy damage. Now that's enticing. Let's swap out. First of all, you do have. We're swapping out your Zenerite Macro Stubber for something else, specifically for this noise reductor. Until we get us a new Tech Priest and spec him as Explorator, we won't be able. We'll be using that augment on you. After all, Noospheric Scan, which is revealing enemy statistics within melee range, will be useful, as well as... where is it? Now, that one is also useful. Escape, avoid all opportunity attacks, and +3 meters to movement. But that comes later. Now, back to Jeremiah. How much does it take for an arc rifle? That's 2 augment points, so we'll be trading away the Zenerite Macro Stubber at the very least. But the inclusion of Dominus arm augments should make it worthwhile, I think. Let's try that as an experiment. Here's your new arms, and here's your arc rifle. Now you're like a Skitari. I think it will be worth it. At least I hope so. But then again, what's your range, I wonder? No idea. Cooldown 1. Cooldown 1. Slightly more damage to the intended target. But then again, it takes only one augment points, so maybe the arc rifle is not all that good. Now if we do it like that, and also add back the Zetterite macro stubber, this should be a more balanced approach, I think. What do we have next? There's still that. New mission from Skivola, The Works of the Enemy. Skitari in the Tomb of Acropis have encountered a destroyer form of Necron that uses anti-gravitational technology. Tech Acquisitor Skivola has requested a cohort engage Necron destroyers so this technology can be studied. Now that's tempting. Cognition gauge max size increased by 1. Oh, and we also get Sanctus Canister, which is an all-around buffing machine. Plus 2 damage, plus 3 meters to movement, plus 10% crit chance until its next base attack. A one-time buff with a cooldown of 3, but maybe it'll be worth it. We're also going to be encountering, in addition to Necron, Destroyers and Warriors, Flayed Ones. So it'll be fun times for all. In melee range, that is. Or maybe I think we'll just grab the Curatio Claw while we can. It's always useful to have. Especially if you remember that you can stack them. So, Jeremiah, Manarius, you're up. And so are your 4 servitors. I called you here, Lector Dogmatis Videx, because your knowledge of spiritual matters and occult mechanicus will be crucial in dealing with any moral threats on Silva Tenebris. I have 543,021 works of scripture stored for rapid context topical retrieval. There is no obstacle beyond my capacity to counsel you on. Unnecessary use of cogitator power, waste of resources, Videx, insufficient use, go to Augmetic Bay for improvements. The Xenos tomb is revealed to us as a great hungry maw that seeks to consume our very purity. Blasphemy reeks from every corner of the tomb of Agrolek. Most poetic, Lector Dogmatis. Your thoughts on how to proceed? I shall take my cues from the writings of Archmagus Veneratus Hieraticus. Let the stench of corruption be swept aside by the sweet winds of faith. One of my censor servitors will cleanse the spiritual corruption with blessed incense. Then deploy one immediately. My thoughts exactly, Magus. With your assistance, the Omnissiah's work shall be done. I don't think Necrons will respond in any way to this. The Censor Servitor is deployed at the tomb entrance, Magus. I am ready to send it on its way. Hold, Subdomina. The Censor Servitor is a delicate piece of machinery. It is ill-suited to hostile territory. Avalornians 591. Fragile indeed are the tools of the righteous. It must be escorted on its sacred duty. Don't be ridiculous. Every step we take in the tomb risks the lives of our personnel. If the spiritual integrity of the mission truly is at stake, Subdomina, Kepra, it is worth the risk. And I assure you, it most definitely is. I've already sent a team ahead. I foresaw your emotional connection to your troops, Kepra. If you are ever to be a Dominus, I must show you how to command. My gratitude, Magus. The Xenos corruption will destroy us as surely as the guns of the enemy. Very well, his will be done. Ah, we do get some points of interest. I'm thinking we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, and final one. Nothing we cannot handle, yet. Menials shall be ritually chastised for this maintenance failure. It is imperative to get this servitor functioning again quickly. Neo-Dogmatic 7190. If his will be done, let it be done quickly. The sensor servitor stops moving and starts belching pungent smoke. The runes of attention are blinking on its chassis, indicating several key systems require maintenance. Secondary repair. Perform the ritual of replacement on the servitor's key systems. Thorough repairs are made to the servitor, but it takes some time to the mission can ill afford. As expected. There's Awakening level 1. This is a non-standard behavior, and speaks ill of the Manials whose task was to maintain this machine. Maxims of Amalanth 5:12. Beware the deviants of thine own tools, for the enemy finds his entrance thereby. Quite unexpectedly, a previously unused Voxcaster unit pops out of the Servitor's face panel. In a synthesized voice, it attempts to engage the cohort in philosophical discussion. We don't have time for this. Perform a diagnostic on the machine to determine the source of this behavior. We will never know who tampered with this machine. If all is right, he suffered punishment for this heresy long ago. A lengthy but comprehensive diagnostic locates an invasive element in the biological cortex that contains the Servitor's operating system, a data chip inserted by an unknown person many years ago. With the chip removed, the Servitor ceases its wayward communication and continues in silence. Plus Necron initiative, but we do get some cognition points and an augment, Spotlight. Become the priority target of enemies in range and gain +1 physical and energy armor for 1 round. Interesting. Kinda like a taunt. Could this be a form of Xenos map room? Most perturbatory. Thro knows what blasphemous notions they had about the stars. This chamber's walls are covered in elaborate star charts, covered in extensive annotations in a Necron language suggesting they record journeys among the stars. Iconoclasm? Destroy them. Our purpose here is to purify the tomb, and the works of the aliens should not be suffered to exist. Interest. Take picked captures of the star maps. They may prove informative. Ignorance? Ignore them. The intellectual pursuits of the Necrons are of no interest to us. We must make haste. This should be the safe option. But let's entertain Vedex on this one and destroy them. Maybe we'll also get some Blackstone, but we'll also raise the Tomb Awakening level. Fair trade-off, I'm thinking. Your choice is a sage one, Magus. Epigraphs Macrologica, Psalm 105. Wheresoever the blasphemer writes, obliterate. The star maps are destroyed with demolition charges. The blast showers the cohort with shrapnel, but reveals quantities of valuable and rare alloys that can be collected. Oh, -1 HP to everyone, but yeah. As expected, we do get Blackstone. This is no good, Magus. No good at all. The Xenos corruption takes physical form in this murky fog. Can anything be done? The noisome miasma of fumes from the Xenos machinery in this area is masking the Servitor's sacred incense. Pray. Purge the corruption with prayer. Purge. Scour away the corruption with flame. Power through. Live with the miasma's live with the miasma's presence and hurry through the area. No. We're taking the purge option. Saints of Archmagus Cortico, verse 58. Prayer has power, but I cannot deny fire does too. Righteous flame scours away the miasma, allowing the cohort to advance. The sight of sheets of flame burning away the toxic fog is indeed inspiring. And we've maxed out our gauge. So we should be at an advantage at the start, even if they get the initiative. There's level 2. And there's the final battle. Two Necron warriors for now. More will be coming from here and here. Yep, this will be doable. Oh, and 2 consoles to grab. So Jeremiah here, Manarius here. 2 servitors here, 1 here, and 1 here. Should be good enough. Now give it a good smack. Yeah, that was a pretty good smack, all things considered. Now we get over here. Let's see what's in there. Some more black stone. Indeed. And... can't quite catch both of you, unfortunately. So I'll have to settle for you. Energy armor, then. And we grab that cognition point. Now we can move a little closer. And should you choose to move, I'll be waiting. Now you brave servitor start on your way there to serve as a distraction. Same with you. Grab another cognition point. Come up over here. And let's shoot that one. With any luck, the acid will do you in. Yeah. There's the Necron warrior I've been expecting. And now we can also move up and give you a congratulatory smack in the face. Now you should go down. Say goodnight. And thank you for the cognition. I feel more enlightened already. Now tell me, how do you feel about physical damage? Very good reaction. Write that down, please. And we can afford to speed to that console for that extra bit of black stone. Maybe even like that. And then we can smack the stupid out of it. You continue on your way. You continue on your way and smack the newcomer. Just a congratulatory smack. And you can start making your way towards him as well. Now you should be able to destroy that console. There's the shot. Ooh, didn't survive that. But thank you for the cognition anyway. Any newcomers? None yet. Since it's an easy mission after all. Now we go here. We see whether there's anything abnormal about you. Nope, just energy armor. So yeah. We will be dealing with you appropriately, and you should be going down ideally with this swing. Not quite, but close enough. you also stand over there, in case someone shows up. And Manarius should be able to finish off with this shot. Maybe I should have delayed to grab that one last bit of awakening reversal. The Sensor Servitor reaches a location where the air currents through the tomb will take its sacred exudations to every corner of the tomb. The cohort guards it until its incense is fully deployed and can escort it back to the tomb entrance. The Sensor Servitor has been delivered to the depths of the tomb, Lector Dogmatis. Its sacred incense now permeates all areas of the structure. A positive outcome, Magus. It is right and proper that you see as I do the dangers posed by the corruptive influence of the Xenos. It remains to be seen if the tomb is rendered less dangerous for our troops. At the very least, the place is less malodorous. I trust you will continue to consider the alien with the hatred and disdain they deserve, Magus. As we explore this world, remember the words of binary hierarch Getsamor. The weak in mind will seek to understand the Xenos. The strong in mind will destroy them and bless their ignorance. Complete 2 missions with using a Canticle, and we get an improved version of Cant of the Craft. The next physical attack will deal +6 physical damage. We should use them at some point. Up next, our Master's Voice. Install a system of Voxcasters to transmit prayers throughout the tomb of Agrelek. Videx believes this will dampen the Xenos taint in the tomb. How high can that go? As high as you'd like. Now what do we get? Scanner. Extract 1 cognition point directly from a target. Kinda like a backup service skull. New troop type. Skitari Vanguard Alpha. Those will be melee troops. And some Blackstone. We'll be facing warriors, Canoptech Acanthrites, and flayed ones. No, we're going after the Scaevola one because that CP gauge needs increasing. Top 10 phrases of all time said on streams. Oh, but before I forget. Cohort, you're in dire need of improvements. Attack protocol, Servo Skull. Just one damage on the Servo Skull scans. Now we get 1 augment capacity, which means we can stick the not the Omnispecs. Welcome to the watch list indeed. We don't need the Macrostabber or Phosphor Blast pistol, but the Arc Scourge may be lacking in range, for now. You know, can't go wrong with the Curatio Claw. Now, Jeremiah, you get Extraction Protocol, Servo Skull. Collect all cognition points from 1 source. No idea how that one is supposed to work. I think we can give you at least a Phosphor Blast pistol for some ranged options. At least for now. This is a list of technologies collected so far. You can find tech such as weapons or items on missions or as a reward for completing missions. This is a collection of weapon blueprints you have found so far. These blueprints are known as standard template construct fragments. We got weapons, support. Here, STC fragments for items can be implemented into your backpack slots. These give support-based skills such as healing and damage-absorbing shields and more. There are 3 versions of each item, with each version increases in power. So at some point, we'll have a version 3 of Noise Reductor, which will be much, much better. This gives me hope. Troops, and what we've achieved so far. Ship. This list shows all ship upgrades you've acquired so far. Ship upgrades affect your repair efficiency between missions, the number of tech priests you can access, and so much more. And the Canticles. Also known as Canticles on the Messiah. These are prayers that can be used in-game. Canticles are unlocked by completing the quests that are listed in each locked Canticle. Yeah, Canticle of the Cant of the Craft, level 1, level 2. One more mission and we'll unlock level 3, which should be very useful. Benediction of the Omniscience. Use 5 Canticles, and that one will increase our energy damage. Canticle of the Iron Soul. Kill 1 boss. The next attack will deal flat plus 4 damage. That one is a bit more universal than Cant of the Craft or Benediction of Omniscience. Litany of Electromancer. The next attack will ignore... 2 attacks will ignore all armor. Now that has the potential to be very, very powerful. Especially if it goes 4 attacks and then 6 attacks. Chant of the Remorseless Fist. Next attacks will break physical armor. Shroud Psalm. Next attack will break 2 energy armor. Prayer of Titanium. Plus 3 energy armor for 1 round. Prayer of Plasteel. Plus 3 physical armor for 1 round. Tutelage of Momentum. Plus 5 meters movement for 1 round. Blessings of the Omnissiah. Gain cognition points. Taming of the Machine Spirit. Max the Machine Spirit of all weapons. That one should be also very good. Out we go. Oh, and gotta replace our Cant of the Craft with a better one. Reports received from Subdomina Kepra, synopsis follows. Heavy resistance, minimal gains, mounting casualties. Confirm? Yes, no. Correct. There have been setbacks. Our troops have encountered a new Necron war form. Reaction equals delight. Pray, Tech Acquisitor, explain. Enemy warform, provision designation, destroyer. Anti-grav technology confirmed. Explorator request, file accessed. Anti-gravitational technologies and areas TG's 8 Maguses have requested as high priority. Study of provisional designation destroyer. Desirable, necessary, sacred duty. And you would be famed throughout TG's 8 for exploiting this technology. Statement agreement. Request formulation follows. Commands deployment immediately. A concentration of Necron destroyers is playing merry hell with our Skitarii units in the Tomb of Acropis. They're highly mobile and heavily armed weapons platforms. Taking them on is dangerous in the extreme. Reason to observe them. Our troops possessing such technology extrapolated to conclusion greatly increased battlefield effectiveness. I was raised to see that as dangerous thinking, Magus. Put such piety aside for now, Subdomina. Is the cohort ready to advance? They are. I have plotted the likely location of the destroyer units, but are there somewhere within this complex. The fortune of Mars be with you. What do we have? Starting out with glyphs in every direction. Couple of points of interest here and there. There's the final battle, so if we go here, 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 or at least here, 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 this should be optimal. Let's see what this glyph brings us. Ooh. Just damage, huh? Unfortunate. The Lives of the Logic Saints, Psalm 61. Even in death our duty is not complete. A mortally wounded Skitarii lies on the floor of this chamber, his torso laid open by gauze fire. He was evidently caught in a firefight and left behind when his unit fell back. It It is likely the Skitarii were attacked by Necron destroyers. The Skitarii might have witnessed their tactics up close. Deliverance. Administer medical assistance to the trooper. Just finish it off. Demand. Interrogate the trooper about Necron destroyer combat tactics. Download. Access the trooper's internal cogitators for data recorded during the firefight. The cohort inserts a data probe into the dying trooper's cortical port. The shock of extracting the data of his final moments finishes him off, but the cohort acquires several minutes worth of data showing the destroyer is emerging from the shadows in perfect coordination and unleashing a fatal crossfire. They are heartened that the trooper was able to share this knowledge even at the moment of death. Well, at least the guard has the saying only in death does duty end. There's the first level. If we're lucky, we'll be able to finish it without hitting the second level. Mission relevant opportunity. Combat data on provisional designation destroyers. Acquire, ignore. Not ignore. This chamber is the site of a skirmish between a unit of Skitarii and the Necron destroyers. A few corpses, badly mauled by Gauss fire, lie around a hurriedly erected flak-weave barricade. Search the fallen for useful supplies. Examine the marks of weapons fire and other evidence of information on the Necron destroyers' combat tactics. Say a prayer for the fallen, marking a joining of their intelligences with a machine god. Something tells me Procure will raise that to awake level or give more initiative to the Necrons. But we might get a sweet augment out of this. Rummaging through the corpses is a grim and demoralizing business. Though useful supplies and ammunition are recovered from the corpses and surrounding area, the cohort do not relish this act of battlefield scavenging. But we do get Infestus Mechadendrite. Single target melee attack, knocks back the target by 1 tile, deals 1 physical damage to target. Just a get out of reaction or other opportunity attack free card. Situational at best, if you ask me. And we did hit level 2, unfortunately. Such is our lot in life. But on the bright side, it won't be too bad for now. Intrigue, most interesting. Not all forms are humanoid. Login data, Centurion form, gravity defying. The Xenos show that they are more alien than we originally thought. Text of the Oiled Cog V12 states, one can verge from the standard form, but one must always retain their humanity, or be lost to the men of iron and their ways. I do not mean to diverge from the discussion, but what are these Iron Men? Unclear. This text was logged in many millennia ago. There is no other reference to them in my cogitators. For shame, Videx. I could tell you. But that's the kind of text that turns your eyes to jelly. Keep focused, brothers. We have a new enemy afoot, and we must ensure they do not surprise us with new trickeries. Be alert and focus. Kill or destroy targets. At least he's alone for now, but there will be coming more. So, Jeremiah at the front, Monarius right behind him, and 2 servitors to back them up. Here they come. What armor do you have? No armor, just a lot of health. And a cheeky 1 damage to you as well. Well, I'll be waiting you here. Just come a little closer. Meanwhile, Jeremiah will be flanking your position from here, and the servitors will block the way with their bodies as they do. Oh, you also got no armor. How nice of you. Grab that cognition point. Grab that point and twist it, as they say. Yeah, I think we can spend it right back up. And you get into position. Operation Mincemeat is a go. Any newcomers? Not yet. Not gonna spend that point just yet. There it is. 6 damage. You did your duty. Yours, however, is not over yet. Start smacking. Even if it's just 2 damage, you will block his way with your body if needs be. And eat acid. Do I want to heal you up? I think I do. Heal yourself up. We'll get that cognition point right back. Time to do our best Shrek impression. Oh, hello there. Four damage. And we stay right there. It's not like he has places to be. Very good opportunity attack. Very good. And goodbye. We need to start accumulating some armor. Only 1 acid damage. And Canoptech Scarabs start emerging. Plus another Necron Warrior. Now we can consider deploying more Servitors. What are you? Oh, now you've got some armor. However, time to tactically relocate. Be especially bad if we were to lose you right now. You are going down. And thank you for the cognition point. Now dispose of him immediately. Start getting over there. To be our faithful bullet catcher. Grab it. I can shoot you point blank. Do I? I think I do. Oh, and before I forget... I will need to heal you up. Before the Necron Destroyer gets to you. Or at least I can get a little closer. And attract more attention from them. Yes. Yes, that should work. May Omnissiah have mercy on you, because I will not. I think this was well and truly worth it. Oh, more Canoptech Scarabs emerge. And another Necron Warrior. Now, we gotta do something about you fast. We're running kinda low on cognition points, which is mildly disconcerting. Let's also do this. You should have no armor, indeed. That doesn't mean I'm gonna waste my shot on you. Instead, I'm gonna finish off the destroyer. And now, I'm gonna finish off this warrior. Or maybe that Canoptech Scarab. It is 3 to 5 after all. No, let's go for the guaranteed kill. Besides, I'll get that cognition point back. Like that. Very good. Just wipe them out. Ooh, now we're definitely gonna need to heal you up. Not gonna need bother with deploying that one. But do heal yourself up. No armor. No armor at all. Okay then. Let's just make some distance, but I don't think that's gonna save you. We can shoot where we stand. And the acid will finish him off. At least in theory. Now, my servitor dearest, how about you take a position over there and wait for the Canoptech Scarabs to come your way? Sounds good? I know it does. Grab that other point. And let's go say hello to the still standing warrior. You will die. Out of range? Fine, we'll finish you off. There we go. On the bright side, it didn't get to level 3. So it all balances it out. The cohort withdraws from the tomb, having experienced the prowess of the Necron destroyers firsthand. If nothing else, the Adeptus Mechanicus have learned of the stark danger these Necron war forms pose. Anti-gravity comprehension index plus 3.9%. Projected beneficiary, Stygi error Adeptus Mechanicus. I am focused on matters much closer in space and time, Scaevola. Retrieving Tech Acquisitor Statement of Purpose. To perceive the grander picture, to strive to acquire and understand for the benefit of all mankind. Be that as it may, I am more interested in how your studies will help our mission in Silver Tenebris. Platitude mode. Trust in the scientific method, Magus. Platitude mode off. And there it is, Litany of the Electromancer. This will come in handy. I think we have time for at least one more mission and then we can call it for tonight. Let's see about our upgrades. First of all, Jeremiah. We can give you the Sanctus canister. It would be prudent to do that. First of all, I think we're gonna give you the Lex Mechanic Head Augment. Because you will need that armor. Now I'm thinking we can take off the Phosphor Blast Pistol, or at least Noise Reductor. And replace it with the Sanctus canister. Now, as for you, Manarius... we don't have enough Blackstone to level you up just yet. You are good as is. What else do we what do we have up next? Nothing here yet. Grave Goods. Explore the remnants of an excavation into the tomb of Acropis made by the original Imperial settlers on Silva Tenebris and recover any archaeotech they left behind for Tech Acquisitor Scaevola. We get Phosphor Serpenta. Single target ranged attack, reveal target statistics, and deal 4 to 6 energy damage. 2 cognition points. And 2 augment points taken up. Not sure if it's gonna be worth it. Cognitive Canister. Target a troop for its next base attack, it gains +1 damage and +25% crit chance. Now this should be useful on our troop boosting units, specifically, or rather troop boosting tech priest, which are Secutors. We don't have them just yet, but it might be nice to have them in the future. Plus 97 Blackstone. And a new enemy type, Deathmark. Those will be nasty to deal with. An aggressive data mining device replaced by the noosphere around the time of the Horus Heresy. The scanner's primary function is to gather data from enemies at a much safer rate whilst keeping tech priests at a safe distance. Not sure the scanner will be worth it, but then again, the Skitarii Vanguard Alpha will be interesting to use because it's our first non-free troop type that we can deploy. We'll see whether they are going to be worth it. The potential for corruption in the tomb of Agrolek continues to vex me, Magus. The spreading of the incense was not enough? I fear not, Magus. The malevolence of the Necron is overwhelming. Observations on the Tech Cosmos, verse 68. We are derelict in our duty whenever we allow corruption to plague the minds of good men. Then what do you suggest? Our progress in the tomb makes it possible for us to install a system of Voxcasters in the structure. And what would that achieve? Lingua Technis prayers could be transmitted to the very heart of the Necron's resting place. Our troops would go everywhere bathed in the secret binary of the Omnissiah. Sayings of the Princeps 65:4. When thou desirest to discourse purely, use binary. Novel concept, Lector Dogmatis. I wonder if the Necrons, or other Nucrons, have the concept of morale. I have considered your plan, Videx, and a cohort had been deployed to the area. I have personally selected the prayers of purification and translated them into broad-spectrum binary. Once the Voxcasters are active, the tomb will ring to the Omnissiah's word. I have the Voxcaster locations plotted, Magus. I am still uncertain if this is worth the risk to our people. One in possession of unaugmented emotional centers cannot appreciate the benefit of this operation. Gathalamorians 45:7. Above bullets, above blades, care for your soul above all. Your concerns are noted, Kepra, but you have your orders. Yes, Magus, his will be done. So first location, second location, I'm guessing this will be... No, that one's optional. So I'm thinking we go... primary, point of interest, glyph, primary. This should be good enough. Starting off strong with a battle. What is this vile mix of flesh and machine? Is this a form of Necron in its infant state? If only we could see it clearly. What has Kavola got to say? Unsurety statement loaded. Unsure of life form progression path. Diagnosing possible outcomes. Signs of degradation, deformed segmentation, and physiological deformities. Possible solutions. Infant, disease, parasitic life form that represents form of ripped flesh. Should I continue? That's enough, Scaevola. I believe we're not the ones to diagnose Necron's health, but instead be their executioners. I am mostly concerned for my troops' morale. There have been reports of Skitarii disappearing in these tombs, and I believe I now know why. Skitarii lives, less than Archaeotech, STC fragments, mission. How supportive of you, Redditus. Survive 3 rounds. And then we gotta kill them all. We got a warrior here, a flayed one here. And a console there. So that means Jeremiah goes here, and Manarius over here. And we are good to go. Any armor on you, Skelly Boy? Of course there is, and of course it's energy armor, which means we're gonna be dealing with you up close and personal. Weather permitting, of course. But we're still free to blast away at that flayed one. No armor. And a crit chance which has revealed his statistics. Just come a little closer, and we'll discuss it in a safe and efficient manner. Safe and efficient for us, that is. Do I do it? I think I will, at least for now. Just something to keep us topped off. Yeah, these are fast. Here comes another flayed one and another Necron warrior. We can still handle it. Deploy distraction servitors. And start blasting. You should be going down now. And you will get your fair share of damage next. You, however, will get no such luxury, dear boy. Very good. Here's your stop. It's gonna be 3 damage, right? 4 damage. Excuse me, that was a critical. I was not entirely familiar with your game. I am now. And you're still in my vice grip of opportunity attacks. The servitors do be hitting harder on them. An eye for an eye. Does leave the world blind. But he who lands the first punch will be left with one eye more. That's how it should go, right? There it is. Kill all enemies. No need to deploy more servitors just yet. Now that one wasn't called for. I guess we gotta deploy our Litany of Life. What are your stats? Physical armor. How quaint. Now you. I'm thinking you will go down. Or at least have a part of your armor stripped away. Grab that point. And twist it. You should have no armor. Indeed you do not. So that means one blast from the Zenorite Microstabber will finish you off. Even if it's just an acid. Now an Arc Scourge. As I suspected, it's a bit of a, on the shorter range. So, Zenorite Microstabber it is. You're the weakest link. Goodbye. Now the acid will finish you off like that. Now, would you kindly send this one off? Very well. And if you can, please catch another Gauss round for me. Thank you. Not yet. And now we are at first Tomb Awakening level, as expected. No need to deploy any servitors just yet. There's the volley I've been expecting. We'll just get a little closer. Start chipping away, because you do have physical armor. And I do not like that one bit. That was weak. We both know that, Jeremiah. You can do better than that. Now, what if we were just to get a little closer and finally put that Arc Scourge to good use? Thank you. And just because we can, I will blast through your armor, so help me, Omnissiah. That's another nasty crit. But I should be able to deal with you this turn. Come on. No lowballing me. No lowballing. Of course you did. For that player, I'm sending you to the Shadow Realm. Then again, I can just do this. Give me all of your cognition points back. Sayings of the Archmagi, Appendix 4. Such sweet music is the chatter of binary that it has no tongue to lie. Ensure the volume is sufficient, Magus. The first Voxcaster unit is in place. It immediately begins transmitting the complex binary of Lingua Technis. Volume level Alpha. Leave the volume the same, the prayers are loud enough as it is. Volume level Gamma. Increase the volume. By prayer shall this place be cleansed. No, we're going volume level Omega. Turn the volume up to the maximum. Let the enemy tremble before his word. Principe Logica 22-4. Let his word be exalted to the 11th degree. The Voxcaster's maximum volume turns out to be tremendous indeed, shattering some of the Necron sarcophagi in the area. The warrior forms contained within will not be attacking in the foreseeable future. The cohort's communications pick up a transmission played in a binary-adjacent Xenos language that can be interpreted as a distress signal. It is originating from the next chamber and is transmitted only in the very local area. Observe. Listen to the transmission from outside the chamber. The transmission is a looping distress signal that peters out into the static before restarting. It sounds like the final words from a dying ship. The uncertainty of its origin, or the reason it is being played in the tomb, is far more disconcerting than knowing the truth. Sometimes nothing is scarier. Now, can I please get a heal? That would be ideal. We do get a heal, but not on the Tech Priest. Still, a heal is a heal. Unless it's Achilles. That it is no longer a heal, but... well, you get the idea. The Necron tomb is trying to defend itself. Clearly our mission is working. Aphorisms 94:13. The enemy rushes to action when our ministrations cause him fear. A swarm of tiny scarab-like constructs emerges from the apertures in the walls and begins scurrying all over the Voxcaster, chewing through its casings like with their steel mandibles. Of course we gotta go with Purge. Clear away the scarabs with righteous application of flame. A sound strategy, Magus. Colloquialisms of Metallica, Chapter 52. Enough fire in the right place can solve any problem. Yeah, that's a sound strategy. Necrons reanimate one turn faster. The squad's blowtorches and plasma crucibles make short work of the scarabs while doing minimal damage to the Voxcaster unit. And we get some Blackstone out of it. Mission complete. The final Voxcaster is installed. The binary prayers now flow through the tomb, filling both real space and the local noosphere with the words of workshop exalting the Omnissiah and the Creed of Mars. The unholy air of the alien now rings to the words of the Omnissiah. Epigrams of Saint Eucelsis 389. Protect the shield of the mind, and the body will be shielded thereby. The Necron can strike at our minds as well as our bodies, and we must protect both. In this Lector Dogmatis, I agree with you. I hope we are of the same mind in other matters too, Magus. Our exploration of Silva Tenebris should be executed with a view to the destruction of all traces of the alien. I have not yet decided if we should commit to such extremes, Vedex. I feel multiple emotional prerogatives as well as logical analyses, and competing for primacy in my new revolts. Our mission here may not be as simple as you think. Just be ready to make the right choice when the time comes, Magus. Recall the words of Fabricator General Plutonus. The eyes of the Omnissiah are ever upon us. Not too bad. But could have always been better. Especially on the healing front. Blessings of the Omnissiah for that extra cognition point of accruement in the oh shit moment. But before we end it for tonight, let's first upgrade Manarius. We do need to upgrade him for that extra armor. Yeah, I'm thinking Dominus Torso. It's something. Yes, this should be good for now. After that, oh, we have our first mission from Capra. Subdomina Capra has requested aid in taking the pressure off her Skitarii troops. Collapsing key areas of the Tomb of Acropis will hinder enemy movement and stop them from overwhelming the Skitarii. We'll get our third tech priest, and a new troop type, Sicarian Infiltrator. Those are decent as far as I recall. A counter-transmission has flooded the Tomb of Agrolek with Necron data. Lector Dogmatis Videx has requested the source of this transmission be located and destroyed. This will get us an arc pistol, which is about on the same level as Phosphor Blast pistol, it looks like. Just with an arc damage to another target if they're close enough. Oh, Cog Occultaris. At the start of a battle, the unit appears untargetable until he performs an attack. Plus 25% crit chance until the next attack. Devious. Plus a little bit of Blackstone. What mission we'll go with next? That will be decided on the next Warhammer Wednesday. But for now, I would like to thank you all for coming. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show as much as I did. And I am thinking that's it for tonight. So thank you all for coming. And see you tomorrow when we are getting back into Shadowrun Hong Kong.